So imagine trying to pivot, like a 10-foot solid piece of glass up a narrow apartment staircase.
Yeah, you just can't.
Exactly. And, welcome to today's deep dive because that exact logistical nightmare is why buying a premium $2,700 custom viewing experience for your space is absolutely nothing like just going out and buying a normal TV.
Oh, it's a completely different world.
Right. So today we're focusing on a single highly specific source. It's a product listing from HDTVSupply for the Draper 254-226 profile plus fixed frame screen. And our mission for you today is figuring out exactly what goes into this high-end AV gear, from the specs to the raw logistics.
Which are wild, by the way.
Right. Okay, let's unpack this. We are talking about a screen with a 113-inch diagonal. That is a 60 by 96-inch widescreen canvas.
Yeah, and the sheer scale of that footprint kind of dictates the entire engineering and purchasing process, right? Because you can't ship a 113-inch rigid frame in a cardboard box and expect it to survive a freight elevator.
Or even a tight hallway.
Exactly. So the listing specifically notes that the screen ships entirely unassembled, which, is an intentional design choice to make transportation to the installation site actually possible.
Right. So you're essentially buying like high-stakes, premium IKEA furniture.
That's a great way to put it.
It's a DIY assembly project, but instead of a cheap bookshelf, it's for a high-end home theater or a corporate training room or maybe a church.
Yeah, but instead of an Allen wrench and those little wooden dowels, you're dealing with microtension. So the frame itself is made of this lightweight extruded aluminum. And to attach the actual viewing surface to that frame, it utilizes a sliding hook and loop system.
Wait, hook and loop. So it's basically the same engineering principle as a trampoline, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. You're applying equal, constant tension around the entire perimeter so the surface never bows or wrinkles.
Oh, wow. Because if you don't get that hook and loop system perfectly taut, the whole 113-inch illusion just totally falls apart.
Exactly. Maintaining that perfect flat tension is exactly what allows them to pull off the optical illusion once it's actually built. The listing really highlights these Profile Plus features, specifically calling out a zero-edge, borderless option, and a mullion-less display.
Okay, so the flat pack assembly solves getting it through the door. But once you lock that frame together, how do they actually hide the seams to make it borderless?
Well, what's fascinating here is the mechanical approach.
Mm-mm.
So a mullion is that structural vertical bar you usually see between panes of glass.
Right, like on a window.
Yeah, or adjacent screens. And Draper eliminates that by using extruded aluminum baffles on all four sides. These baffles sit flush right behind the screen to support the attachment system.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, keeping the tension tight without needing a bulky front bezel to hold it all together. You literally have zero border.
Which brings us to the actual projection surface itself, because the source details a gray XH600V surface with a 0.6 gain rated for 1080p resolution. But wait, a 0.6 gain.
Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive.
Right. Most people assume you want a high gain on a screen to reflect more light back at you. Why intentionally drop it to 0.6?
It's all about contrast, honestly. A lower gain on a gray surface specifically absorbs ambient room light.
Oh, so if you have a white screen in a room with some lights on, the dark parts of your movie look washed out.
Exactly, they just look gray. The 0.6 gain gray surface ensures your blacks actually look black. It gives you a significantly richer image, even if your room isn't pitch dark.
That makes sense. So you combine that perfectly tensioned, high-contrast gray surface with zero separation at the edges. But if there's no border, are people essentially using these to build massive, seamless digital walls rather than just hanging a single screen?
They are, yeah. The listing explicitly states that this mullionless design allows adjacent screens to come together with absolute zero separation.
Wow.
You aren't just mounting a display, you are creating an uninterrupted visual environment. And they even offer an option for LED backlighting or bias lighting to push that visual depth even further.
All of that engineering sounds incredible. But looking at the actual reality of buying this equipment, here's where it gets really interesting.
Oh yeah, the price?
Yeah. The current price is $2,784, which is discounted from $3,480. But I was looking at the fine print on that price tag, and there's a very strict warning.
Right.
This is a special order item. It is strictly non-cancelable, non-returnable, and non-refundable. Like, if I buy a TV at a big box store and it doesn't fit, I just take it back.
Sure.
Here, there is zero safety net. That is a massive financial commitment. Why would anyone click buy under those conditions?
Well, this raises an important point about the professional AV market.
Yeah.
It really forces you to shift from a casual consumer mindset to a commercial integrator mindset.
Okay.
When you forfeit the right to return an item, you look for long-term security elsewhere. The buyer mitigates that upfront purchase anxiety by relying on the back-end support.
Ah, the warranty.
Exactly. The listing counterbalances that strict policy by highlighting a Draper 5-year warranty alongside HDTVSupply's lifetime tech support.
So what does this all mean for you listening? It means stepping into premium AV tech requires treating your screen like a permanent architectural installation.
Absolutely.
You aren't just swapping out a consumer electronic, you are committing to the hardware and relying on guaranteed long-term backing from the manufacturer.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture for you to consider, with features like mullion-less boundaries, allowing for infinite screen adjacency, and optional LED bias lighting bleeding into the room.
Are we moving past the whole concept of simply watching a screen? We might just be turning the very architecture of our rooms into seamless digital windows, something to mull over next time you look at that old TV sitting on your media console.